Welcome to Lafayette Sports Center. I'm Connor Sight, joined alongside by Quinn Lowe. Today we're going to talk about spring sports. First off, let's talk about baseball. This is a rebuilding year for the team. Graduated a lot of seniors last year, but I still have a lot of faith in them. Now let's hear what Coach JANSEN has to say about the season.
At first you kind of, I don't know, you always want to win, but as the round robin kind of unfolded, it was apparent that we just had a lot of work in front of us. We have a lot of younger, newer kids to varsity now that maybe either don't have a lot or don't have any varsity experience, and so. How I felt about it was, like I said, at first I was like, what are we going to do here? How are we going to do this? And as those first couple games unfolded, it kind of turned into more of like, all right, I know where we're at. We're going to have some bumps along the road. We're going to have some good moments too. And so then your focus turns more to how can I get this team to be playing their best baseball when districts come around. It's not about winning this amount. It's not necessarily about wins and losses. It's more about how can I get them ready for the playoffs for this year. Then again, how can I get us ready for the next few years? I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's when you lose the game to go to the state championship, but then you have to turn around and play the third place game. It was tough. It was probably even as a player myself and as someone who's coached varsity softball and JV, freshman, different levels of baseball and softball, probably one of the hardest losses just that I've been a part of in my life. It took me a while to kind of recover from that. I'm not gonna lie, it took me more than the summer to recover from that loss and the way we lost and other things that are involved. And so I really didn't want to compare teams coming in because it's a totally different team. It's just a different feel to it. It's a different type of team. We would win in a different way. So I don't necessarily know if I would say improved. What I would say is that I wanted to keep our culture alive of what we did last year as far as how we did it, with energy, with passion, and then the way that we prepare. There isn't a team in the state of Missouri that I think prepares like we do. So just keeping that tradition alive, keeping the spark alive. You obviously look at the lineup, you look at the roster, and there's different names, there's new names. But you have to kind of find a new way, not necessarily kind of like a new identity, but kind of a new way that you're going to win games with the current team you have. You can't base it off of how we did it last year. Half of that team isn't here anymore. Whether they transferred, whether they graduated, whatever they did. So you have to figure out the players that you have now, what kind of roles can I put them in, or how do I want to use them? And it just develops and blossoms from there. You have to kind of reestablish yourself. I think a lot of teams circled us on their schedule because of what we did to them last year and what we did. I can tell you that from Savannah's pitcher Tyson Hilsebeck, that was a no-hitter against us, and in his post-game he kind of mentions, I had this game circled. So it's kind of unfair pressure for some kids that weren't on the team last year to have to, play even better or be ready to fight even more because they had nothing to do with our team last year. They had everything to do with our program, but we put a really big target on our back that is difficult sometimes to achieve that, that level of success or that level or whatever it may be. But for the most part, I would say I don't necessarily want to compare. All I wanted to do was keep the culture and then also figure out how we're going to be able to win games and move and be successful moving forward.
Thank you, Coach JANSEN. They look to improve their record tonight at Phil Welch against Bishop Oblong and Friday and Saturday at the Camden tournament.
Track having their first meet tonight, their first two being canceled due to weather. Let's bring it into Coach Spencer to see what he thinks about tonight.
Well, I'm hoping that we can get some more kids out. After coaching football this year, we've gained some athletes. Trying to get people to understand that track's a lot of fun and kind of a social event. And the more kids we get out, the more their friends will come out. Really, it's about numbers right now. We've got some good athletes that are training hard, but we need to get more and more kids excited to be out. We should have some pretty good relays this year. Our throwers have grown, gotten better. Last year was our, my first year here, so they kind of had to learn how I did things, and hopefully we'll show a lot of growth this season. I think we have the potential to be successful in a lot of events. Obviously, you've got Carlos coming back as a state qualifier. He should do well in the 100, the 200. You got Stevie coming back in javelin. But I think Q and Kendall could actually make some noise in the MEC with shot put. We've got Hayden McCrary out this year, who I'm excited to see throw. And then running wise, we've got a lot of people that are running that we didn't have last year. So I think we have the potential to have some of the fastest relays in the area. And then we've got a lot of young kids that we just got to figure out where they're going to be able to compete. We've got lots of jumping areas to fill and figure out, who's going to do those things. But we have people that could be successful in those too. Overall, I think we're just going to be a better team. Well, I've been lucky enough to have some really good track teams in the past. And honestly, I don't think that any of the places I've been have more talent in the hallways than what Lafayette has. The key is getting the kids out and excited. When I first started taking relays to state and winning and qualifying people in throwing events, when I was at Plattsburgh, we noticed that the next year you'd get more kids out, and then the next year after that you get more kids out, and you start bringing home big plaques. Kids start thinking, hey, I want to be a part of that. Well, at West Platte, after winning a state title, we saw our numbers go like double. And I think the thing here is just trying to make track cool at Lafayette, because Lafayette's got athletes everywhere. We need them to come join us. I think it's totally doable, but right now we're going against teams that have 100 kids out and we've got 30. So the goal for next year is to maybe be closer to 60, and the year after that, if we could be inching towards 70 or 80, then I think we've got a real shot to win some hardware.
Thanks, Coach Spencer. Now let's look at the upcoming schedule. Tonight, they have a meet at Atchison. On Friday, they have a meet at Chillicothe. And then next Tuesday, they have a meet at Bishop LeBlond. So come out and support.
Now let's look at golf. We have all 5 returning varsity players, and we have an interview with one of them. Here's CADEN JANSEN. Today we're going to be asking a few questions to golf phenom CADEN JANSEN. Good to have you, CADEN. CADEN, what is your individual goal for this season?
My individual goal this season is to go to state. We're hoping to qualify for state this year, baby.
And what is your team goal this season, you believe?
Man, our team, we've improved a lot, man. We're really looking forward to it. We're all going to try and qualify for state. Hopefully we can make some Lafayette golf history here and qualify the entire team for state.
And then a little fun question. What's your favorite club to hit, CADEN?
Man, you already know I like to take them big daddy swings, man. I love that driver. That's my favorite club.
Thank you, CADEN. Early in the week, Lafayette played in the Lafayette tournament at Fairview, where they placed second. They play Friday in Hiawatha. Good luck to our golf team.
Let's take a look at tennis with Coach Barry.
Hi, I'm Addie, joined along Coach Barry, and today I'm here to ask her some questions about our new boys tennis team. So as we know, we haven't had a boys tennis team since 2020. So what are some goals you have for this upcoming season?
Well, this season we have 3 new players who have never played tennis before, so I would just like to see them improve their game throughout the season.
Of course, and can you give us an upcoming look on our schedule?
Today we play Bishop LeBlond at Noyes, and then Friday we have the Lafayette tournament at Noyes all day.
Well, good luck to our boys, and lastly, what are we doing to promote our boys tennis team?
Well, I try several things. We run a summer program for girls and boys. Tennis is a lifetime sport, and so we, of course, always try to get middle school students interested. I believe they do some tennis programs in the elementary and middle schools, and hopefully that gets some kids interested in tennis.
Thanks, Coach Barry. Now let's look at the upcoming schedule. They have a match tonight against Bishop LeBlanc and a tournament tomorrow at Noyes.
Now let's take a look at soccer. This year we're able to have a JV and a varsity team, which is great for the sport. Now let's look at an interview with soccer coach, Mrs. Alden.
Hi, I'm McKenna Alden, and I'm joined alongside the assistant soccer coach and my mom, Tanya Alden. So what's the most exciting thing for you this year?
I think our most exciting thing is our numbers. We actually had very few girls last year and sometimes played with less than 11 on the field, but this year we have enough girls for a full varsity and a JV team.
So in growing those numbers, what have you done to help build the program up?
Unfortunately, I have to say nothing. I probably didn't do anything. The girls had a really good time last year, even though it was a struggle with number-wise, and they went and recruited their friends. We also have a really good freshman class, even underclassmen class, and I'm really excited about the future of the soccer team as long as they all stick with it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mrs. Alden. So far, our soccer team is 1-5-1 and has a tournament this weekend at Excelsior Springs.
That's all we have for you on this spring edition of Sports Center. We'll see you next time.